Should you buy Wayfinder in June 2024? The short answer is yes. It is a pretty good bargain for $25, but it may still be safer to wait for the full launch of the game. The long answer is a bit more complicated, which is what we'll talk about for the rest of the video. Before we begin, a quick note on the visuals. I don't have a modern PC, so I had to run the game on medium graphics settings. The game actually looks much better than what you're seeing here. There will be a few spoilers ahead. This video is targeted at those who have never played Wayfinder. You were probably interested to buy the game when it first launched in August 2023, but stayed away seeing the negative reception. The game is now gearing up for a second launch, still in early access, in June 2024. The difference is that it is no longer going to be a free-to-play title as originally planned. It will not even be an MMORPG. It won't have any microtransactions, and all the loot will be available inside the game, either as random drops or purchasable with in-game currency. Since I bought the first version in 2023, I got early access to the Echoes update and finished playing it in a little over 15 hours. I played on the lowest difficulty, partly because that's what I usually do, and partly because this was my second playthrough of the game's story. And that's a good place to start, the story. This game has a half-decent story, but no one will probably recommend this game simply for that reason. All you need to know is that you're a superhero called a Wayfinder, your world is in danger, and you have a weapon. That's it, you're good to go. The Echoes update tells pretty much the same story as the first version, but adds in a lot of quests in between to better explain what's going on. There's also an epilogue that sets up the future of the story. It's still quite silly and confusing, and all it does is pad up the game time a little bit. There are a few new cutscenes that do a better job of explaining the story, so that's a welcome change. The gameplay is what makes Wayfinder easy to recommend. It's an action RPG where each character roughly represents a different class, but all characters can wield all the weapons, so only your character's abilities make a difference in how you play the game. At the moment, there are 7 Wayfinders available. You get 3 in the beginning and the remaining 4 are unlocked as the game goes on. The newest Wayfinder, Grendel, who was teased for several months, is actually unlocked pretty early in the game, and this was the character I used to finish the game. He's got a pretty neat set of abilities and suits an aggressive playstyle. The game has 3 major maps. Skylight is the social hub where you can talk to NPCs and also decorate your own apartment. You can also get access to most of the dungeons in one place from Skylight, which is great for late game farming. Highlands and Frostmarch are 2 open world style maps where you can start random encounters and also discover new dungeons. To get around these huge maps, you can travel on a mount or use fast travel points. There are a few world bosses scattered across these maps, but since they were designed for a large group of players to fight together, they may end up being a bit too easy in this new version of the game. Still, you need to fight them for some endgame resources. The dungeons and boss battles, called hunts, are what make up most of Wayfinder's gameplay loop. The boss battles in particular can be quite interesting, although there are a few repetitive mechanics for some of them. But since there are more than a dozen of these battles, you can mix and match to keep things fresh. Once you beat the story, you enter the endgame, which features mythic hunts. Here you fight some of the bosses from the campaign, as well as a handful of new bosses exclusive to the endgame, in order to earn currency that can get you the best weapons in the game. And the game doesn't end once you collect all the weapons and characters. You can then choose to make your arsenal more powerful by using an awakening system where you can level up your gear beyond their original power. It's purely a system created for those who like to keep farming forever and is completely optional with regards to the game's story. For the asking price of $25, Wayfinder offers a memorable action RPG experience. The game is still in early access, so to be absolutely safe, you could always wait until the full launch later this year. The new version of Wayfinder launches on Steam on June 11th. PS5 and Xbox players have different dates to access this new version of the game, so keep an eye out for an announcement from the developer for the exact dates. Thanks for watching.